Right now at 5, could this video crack a horrifying murder case? The latest on the investigation into the father of 2 gunned down as he tried to protect his teenage neighbor. And a Houston man says he was attacked online after leaving a negative restaurant review. But the restaurant owner says he has good reason to fight back. Plus, calling all Texans. We'll tell you where you can get free guacamole tomorrow. The news starts now. A Houston man is accusing a restaurant in Alvin of fat shaming and bullying.
That's after a negative review of the restaurant he posted online, but the owner of the restaurant is defending his response, stating they're the ones being attacked.
David Gonzalez joins us live now from Alvin with the rest of this story. David?
Me and Len, yeah, Tommaso's Italian Grill here behind me has been in business for more than 40 years. And in that time frame, of course, they have good reviews, but they also have some bad ones. And those reviews come from people that have actually been inside the restaurant. But in this case, the man that claims to be cyberbullied has never been here before.
My review, even though I've never been there, I thought it was fair.
It's a review of Tommaso's Italian Grill Norman Mundy doesn't take back. On July 22nd, he gave the restaurant a 1-star rating on Facebook.
There was no response by the restaurant to their customers. So based on that, I decided I wasn't going to go to the restaurant.
In his review, Mundy acknowledges never having been a Tommaso's customer, which real customers noticed and called him out on. Then on Sunday, the Tommaso's Facebook page responded.
I was horrified. I expected a response, but I didn't expect the outright hatred of saying that I should join the hair club for men, I should go to Weight Watchers.
That response written by Tommaso's owner, Sal Achille. Achille says the negative review by someone who had never visited the restaurant caught him off guard.
The words that he said kind of hit a nerve with me because, this is my livelihood, this is how my family makes our money.
Achille doesn't regret defending his restaurant.
I might have went a little bit too far with the words that I chose. I do apologize about that if I offended anybody, but I felt like that, hey, he's attacking me, let me attack him.
It's fair to attack me back, but you don't need to go and fat shame.
I weigh almost 300 pounds myself. So.
Mundy says he would appreciate an apology from Tommaso's.
I don't think that, I don't think I owe him an apology. I kind of think he might owe me an apology. And the ball's kind of in his court. He's the one that started the thread with the review. If he don't want it on there, he could take it off, and that would take ours off as well.
And Tommaso's owners are actually inviting Mundy to come to the restaurant and to Alvin to check it out for himself. They say hopefully that will calm this all down. But right now, we do not know if Mundy will take them up on that offer. Back to you guys.
Whole lot of nonsense going on there. Thank you, David.
Now to new developments in the murder case of a doctor shot and killed while riding his bike to work. Houston police released this surveillance video showing the suspected gunman who shot and killed Dr. Mark Houseknecht. That shooting happened in the medical center. Dr. Houseknecht is not the only unsolved, though, murder in our area. Marcelina Benito has a closer look now at the numbers.
They're all murders that grip the hearts of the Houston community. Right now, HPD working nonstop to find cardiologist Dr. Mark Houseknecht's killer. They have him on camera, but his identity still a mystery. Josue Flores' brutal stabbing walking home from school also unsolved. The Sun family's murder inside their Cypress home still a mystery too. So many cases we remember, hoping their killers ultimately caught. But just how many go unsolved every year in our area? Let's break down the last 3 years of available data. From 2014 to 2016, 37% of HPD's murder cases were unsolved. The Harris County Sheriff's Office, slightly higher, half their murder cases weren't closed. Now let's widen out even more than that. In that same 3-year period, 448 of the 1,138 murders across all of Harris County remained unsolved. Our county to the south, Fort Bend, had a 9% unsolved murder rate. Only 5 of their 55 murders weren't closed. And Brazoria County, they went 20 for 20 with no unsolved murders. To be fair, Harris County has nearly 4 times the population of Fort Bend and Brazoria counties combined. Houston's unsolved murder rates rank right about the middle when compared to other major U.S. cities. Chicago is worst, where nearly 74% of murders are unsolved. Austin ranks best. Only 27% of their homicides never result in an arrest. Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
We have new information tonight in the death of a father who was just trying to do the right thing. And now we have pictures of the possible suspects involved in his murder. Moises Araguin was shot when he tried to stop a guy from robbing his neighbor in North Harris County. Sherman Chow is live with the surveillance video in a murder that has gotten the city's attention. Sherman?
Yeah, Len, the father of two young girls saw a neighbor in trouble, jumped into action, and that good deed cost him his life. Detectives want you to take a good look at this surveillance video from the North Harris County neighborhood. It happened about 11 o'clock Friday night. Four guys pull up in a four-door mid-size sedan, the make and model not clear, and from the backseat the two killers get out. The first, maybe 17 to 19 years old, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, with a white muscle shirt, wearing gray sweats. He has bad teeth and an angular face. Witnesses say it reminds them of a rat. The second killer is younger, maybe 15 to 16, a little shorter, about 5 feet 5. His hair is distinctive, quote, poofy, shaped like a mushroom. You can see him holding a gun. Investigators believe the crew was driving through the neighborhood looking for someone to rob, focused on the 16-year-old at random, and that neither victim knew their attackers.
It is a lot more serious, because the kind of people that do that to purely innocent people, those are the worst kind of people we have out there. And those are the kind of people we need to get off the street the most.
Moises Araguin was shot and killed. He's described as a good family man, very sociable, and that the 16-year-old he was protecting says he was like a father to him. Neighbors held a barbecue yesterday to help raise money for the family. Obviously, if you know anything, please contact authorities or Crime Stoppers. Moises' mother, his wife, his brother, many other relatives were at that press conference that wrapped up just a little bit ago. We'll have more on the emotional moments from that press conference coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, I'm live downtown. Sherman Chow, KHOU 11 News.
Just heartbreaking for that family. Sherman, thanks so much. And we are waiting to hear what one woman will be charged with after police say she stole an ambulance, crashed, and shut down a major ramp early this morning. Investigators say she stole the ambulance from Ben Taub Hospital around 4 a.m. this morning. After taking off, she later flipped it on the Gulf Freeway right at the on-ramp onto the South Loop. Firefighters were able to get her out of the vehicle and took her to the hospital. Again, charges are expected.
A live look over downtown right now. If you go outside, you can feel it. You know that the heat is boiling, but maybe, just maybe, a little cool weather will be heading our way. David Paul?
Now, you remember that I've been using the term less hot.
Yes, that's true.
Cool, I don't know about.
That's a stretch, isn't it, Dave? Cool.
we grasp at straws when we have them in a hot summer. It's 96 out there now. Dew point's near 70, which means it feels like 105 outside right now. Looking at Texas and the deep south, you can see there are pockets of scattered storms out there this afternoon. And in fact, zooming in on Houston, Harris County, we got a rain shower Pasadena on the east side. But the heaviest shower coming down right now is this one, which has been sitting here right between Katy on I-10 and Cinco Ranch off 99 for about the past half hour. So there's some spots here that are getting a pretty good drink of water. I expect we'll see more of those as we head through the evening. So I've got a few evening storms to track, but the best rain chance by far is going to be tomorrow. We'll talk about that and maybe the rain. I don't even want to say rain cooled, rain less hot weather tomorrow. And if we get rain, first measurable rain in 3 weeks. The rest of the extended forecast as well coming up.
Yeah, it's been quite a dry spell. Thanks, David. Well, new evacuations are underway in Northern California, and you can see why. This is the KHOU wildfire, and it has killed even more people. Ed Bledsoe says he had no idea his home was in danger when he left his wife Melody and their 2 great-grandchildren, ages 4 and 5. He desperately tried to get to the home, but the road was blocked with cars.
My little grandson on the phone, he's saying, "Grandpa, please, you got to come and help us. The fire's at the back door. Come and get us." I said, "I'm close by, son. I'm trying to get in there." I said, I'm right by you." I said, "I'm right by you, honey. Just hold on. Grandpa's coming."
So sad. This is time-lapse video showing the intensity of the fire, creating winds strong enough to uproot trees. Ed Bledsoe's home is one of more than 850 structures that have been destroyed.
Just helpless in that situation. You really are. Oh.